Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday morning real estate marketing show with Ruthie Rocks Ruth Allbrand, and I am Marketing Max. This is show number 435. And today we have Erin Pearson Mills again with us, back by popular demand. And she's going to talk about how she does open houses in this environment here to, one, obtain buyers, and two, how to sell the home as quickly as possible. But before we get to Erin, Ruth, what is happening in Las Vegas?
Well, what's happening across the country is home sales have reached a 14-year peak for 2020. Yeah, the stats came out a few days ago. I'm sure a lot of people already know that. If you're in real estate, it's hard to not know it. And the volume for just the first 29 days of, I'm going to mute Erin here for a second. There we go. The volume for just the first 29 days, volume in sales is $2,467,000,000 just for this month. And that's $861 million more than last year in volume, which is unbelievable.
Incredible.
Agents out there, I hope you're making money because
no. People are making money. I can tell you the mortgage guys are making money too, because I'm starting to see mortgage lender billboards again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's amazing. And yesterday we put 112 homes under contract and we listed 131. And I'm always happy that the listings are more than the contracts, because we're down to 0.96 months of inventory with only 2,746 single family homes. And it has been going down now for the past several days, almost over a week. And we just, we need more inventory. I mean, there's just no way around it. And we closed 194 homes yesterday. Of course, it was the last Friday of the month, the last day of the month, because Monday is the 1st of February. And we're going to start all over again.
But January is in the books tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'll read real quickly what Lawrence Yun says. He says he's the NAR chief economist. He's well-renowned in the economic industry. And he says this momentum is likely to carry into 2021 with more buyers expected to enter the market. Oh my gosh. Although mortgage rates are projected to increase somewhat, they will continue to hover under the new record lows of around 3%. Moreover, expect economic conditions to improve with additional stimulus forthcoming and vaccine distribution already underway. It's a perfect storm. I keep saying that so much that when the storm blows over, everybody's going to say, "Where was I?"
No doubt. Yeah, we're approaching that window here, that like sweet spot where it's just going to boom, and then probably get a little quiet a little bit here after all the buyers enter the market here. So time to take advantage.
It's inevitable, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a natural cycle of business and the real estate market cycle, since the beginning of time. So you got to anticipate that, plan for it, and more importantly here, take advantage of the time that you have right now.
Oh, absolutely. And I know that, I mean, people are, obviously, because the inventory keeps decreasing. So and the volume keeps going up. So obviously there's a lot of people getting the message.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go on with the show. I'm so excited to have Erin Pearson Mills back today.
Yes. Bring her back on. She was so dynamic last week.
I know. Popular demand. Everybody wants to see this beautiful girl tell her wonderful stories.
All right, Erin, good morning. Welcome back.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Doing great. So you're going to share with us today, once you have buyers and clients and use social media to build a list, what you do during this time in the marketplace with open houses, which still to this day is one of 4 or 5 things that if you do consistently well, you can build a massive real estate business in the long run.
Yes. And in 23 months, I have built a massive client base. I love open houses. I'm the open house queen. I did come from an event background. And so it's very exciting for me to set this up. And I do go above and beyond. And I try to tell people, don't get overwhelmed. You can do everything I do from the dollar store. Okay. But we can go all the way back. Now, this weekend, I have a fantastic open house. and it is not my listing. Okay, so there's two different theories on how to sell the house when it's your listing and how to take advantage if it's not your listing. Okay, because yes, I am there to sell this home at all times to point out all the amazing features, but if this home does not fit their needs, I'm here to assist them in finding the house that fits their family's needs. Okay, so we're just going to preface that.
Okay.
Now, if it was, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, okay.
Yes, okay.
Continue.
No, ready to go. So I do have a big, beautiful listing, but it's not convenient for the family to have me hosted on the weekends. And so I take other listings so I can work over the weekends, which is the best time. Okay. So obviously, here's my theory. You guys do any theory that you want, but my criteria is to get a home that is vacant. Okay, it has to be vacant because I can set it up the way that I want. If it's staged, that's even better, but that's pretty rare. Okay,
Right.
I go for a price point that is $700,000 or over.
Mm.
Because it's going to sit there for 1 second. You don't try to do a $400,000 home. You're going to set it up and be kicked out in an hour. Okay, so I go for very, very high-end homes. Now, I've got really great relationships with all the brokers and the agents out there. Why wouldn't they want me to sell their home for them? Okay, so I've always created relationships so I can call this guy, this broker, who never lets anybody but his team open house his home. But I noticed it was on the market for a heavy amount of days, 44 days. And so I was like, hey, Noah, it's your favorite redhead realtor. I was like, hey, let me get this sold for you. Okay. So that started a week in advance. I heard Max take a breath.
No, I said, okay. I should just probably stay silent so I don't break your train of thought here.
No, it's totally, I'm off mute. No. So the thing is that I start a week in advance because it takes a lot of preparation to really get the most bang for your buck. Okay. So I got this secured on Monday. All right. And I wish I had so many visuals. And so, anyway, if you guys want more information, an actual video, I filmed a video. You can just text me or email me and I will shoot you the video link that I did so I can physically show you everything that I did. Okay. So I do a lot of prep work. I go immediately and I look at the home. How many turns does it take to get to the home? How many signs am I going to have? You have to do the work. You have to do the work. And you're going to get your steps in for the day. I do no less than 15 signs. 15 signs. I have half generic and I have half branded just because I'm still building that up. Okay. Keep in mind when you get a commission check, you need to put a little bit into your marketing. All right. You need to put it over for taxes, put that money into your marketing, get those signs. I go extra. I bought a helium tank at Walmart and I'm going to be filling up my truck with balloons. A balloon is squirrel. It just works. Okay. Do the work. Okay. So I go and I count how many twists and turns. My high-end homes are usually in a gated or a guard gated community. This one's a gated community. I wish I had it right here. So I make a little sign that says text or call Aaron for gate code for the open house. Okay. So it's right there and everybody's, very nice about it. So you got to be ready there to answer your phone. Another very important factor is safety first and accessibility for your clients. And so I always fill my open houses with my personal team. I have my assistant, who we now call the client concierge manager. She is unlicensed, but she is there to help us manage and answer the phone and get those clients in and welcome them. I also have a licensed agent or two, because if they find something that they want, I'll get there. My licensed agent is ready to take them to go show them their house. That is just stacking the chips, right? Right, guys?
Right. There you go.
Stacking the chips with value. Okay. So the day before, I go and set up my entire open house, whether it's winter or summer, so I don't want to be sweaty and I can put my hair up. And I fill it beautifully with cheap scented candles. Okay, it's a naked, empty home. I set the temperature correctly so it's nice and warm when they get in there. So when they're walking in, this is a very empty home. Okay. So I put some candles. I got the little open house signs. You can buy a Galvar, and I just kind of fill it up to, welcome home. So you have to be very COVID mindset these days. And so it works well for us because they have to sign in. Okay. Now with eXp Realty, what we have is an app. And so it's very professional. It's actually on my iPad. And so they can touch screen and type in, and then it links directly to my CRM system, which is KV Core. Work is already done for me and I don't have to read their writing. Okay. But however you do, invite them in. I invite them all the way in. There is a in-laws quarters by the front door. So I want them to come into the kitchen all the way down the hallway. Hey, you guys. Okay. Welcome. Let's get the business out of the way because of the governor's directives. Please come on over. I have a sanitation station. Please sanitize your homes, sign in or type in. If you don't have a mask, it's there. If they require gloves or booties, it's there. Okay.
Aaron, let me ask you a question. So why don't you set that up right at the door instead of bringing them all the way into the kitchen?
Good question. Because I am the boss. I am directing them into what I want them to do. I don't want them to be here. I want them to get them all the way into that home. And then I'm going to direct them. So I wish you could see the open house, but I do all that fun stuff. We get all sanitized. And I'm like, tell me a story. I really just start the rapport. Okay. Then I have a very big folder. I got one. Okay. I put the work in and I took my marketing money and I did this. So this one probably is not very, it is filled. So you can go get any kind of folder that you want. Okay. Now I do have a big postcard that I put on the front. You can make it any color that you want. And then inside, I really fill it up with massive information. Over here, if you've got a great lender, get with them. This is just from list reports. I didn't do this work. It's just click, okay, list reports. So they have their open house information, and normally behind here, they'd have the property report. And I spend the money and I make it color. Over here, I have a letter. I'm happy to share what's in the letter. You guys just let me know. I have a letter about a little bit about the home and a lot about myself, why you should fall in love with me and why I'm going to give you so much value. I say, this is yours, and once you touch it, you have to take it because of COVID. Okay, so they each go into those. Now I'm going to leave them alone. Do you guys want to go to the Gap and have that salesperson follow you around? No, just show me where the clearance section is. All right, so then I say, you guys, I want you to enjoy yourselves. There's all this bottles of water, and here's a bunch of wrapped snacks, like muffins wrapped in plastic. COVID friendly, okay? Enjoy, it's all for you, okay? I make sure in every single bathroom, I have 6 bathrooms in this home. In every bathroom, I have hand soap, make sure there's toilet paper, there's paper towels, I put a candle, and I put a little tiny thing of candy. That's a little extra, but it all comes from the dollar store. I just have a big box of open house stuff that I'm ready to go, okay? So now that we're all acquainted, I say, hey, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys how to do your own self-guided tour. I want you to go all the way back down to the front door, enjoy that in-laws quarters, the open patio, go up this staircase, enjoy the master bedroom, go across the flyway, there's more bedrooms, come down, there's a junior suite, then come to me in the kitchen and I can answer all of your questions. So I let them go. Now they're happy, they're excited, they're getting up there, they're talking, they're doing their own thing. If they take a while, I will go run upstairs. Hey, you guys doing good? Do you have any questions? Cool, great. Going back downstairs. You don't want to be in their face, okay? You're just giving them value. So once they get back downstairs, so does this house fit your budget? Does it fit your needs? Oh gosh, it's way too big. It's way too expensive. Or I'd actually like an RV parking. Awesome. Here's stacking the chips number 2. During this week, I took the time and I got in a half a mile radius, a little bit more than that, under a mile. I printed out 10 to 12 homes, okay, on fancy paper. Super simple, fancy paper. It's just, it's got a nice border. I printed out the client brochure information about these 12 other homes. A couple are above the price point. My price point, it's actually really cute. $888,800.88. So obviously, if you don't know what 8s mean, in Asian culture, it's a very, very lucky sign. So right. I did learn that the owners were Asian. And so that's great. I love that. I love the 8s. So anyway, I've got a couple homes that are above that price point and a bunch of homes that are below that price point. Okay. So I put them up on 2 foam boards on easels that I've collected. Okay. And then I highlight the price of the home and the HOAs. Then at the bottom where you have a space, that's why I do the client brochure, because I have a space. I'll find out what the best thing about that home is. And I'll write on the bottom, RV parking, solar panels included, investor special. So those are like, oh my gosh. So when I'm like, if none of these fit your needs, let me ask you something. Are you working with somebody? Now I have got to know them and I can get in their face. Oh yeah, it's my brother, it's this, it's that, fine, whatever. Okay. Well, how are you literally finding homes? Which signs? And I find out which corner I put my signs are actually working in my head. Then I'll double up the signs the next day. Okay. And I go, oh great, listen, don't do Zillow, don't do Redfin, don't do realtor.com. They are in this crazy market. And I don't say crazy, I don't want to upset them. In this fast moving market, you're going to fall in love with a home and it's already under contract. Let me send you the Las Vegas real estate app. It is current. And it's branded by me. They don't know that. So I immediately just listen. Let me text you the MLS Touch app. If you guys are not using this tool, you are missing out. So, hey, what's your cell phone number? Boop, boop, boop. Okay, did you get the app? Awesome. I just captured their real phone number.
That's right.
Now, when they leave, when I'm all done, I make it a point to stay in my open house for at least an hour, and I make a video. Hey, Sherry, it was so great to see you guys today. Let me know if you have any questions. I shoot them the video, and then I program their name. It's work. You have to understand that, okay? There's a lot of different layers on how to capture all these people, make them fall in love with you. Great. So once you've sent them the MLS Touch app, that I've taken the time, the work to brand it so they have my name, because then when they're looking at homes, it's going ding, 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 ding. So in 2 days when they're getting excited, hey, I love that house on Minuet. You know it's vacant. Would you like to go see it? Okay. So there's so many different layers. And so if I really get a great rapport, if we're not too busy, which is again where I fill my open houses with agents because I do no less than 15 signs. I've had this since November of 2019. I have this one, it's Tool, T-U-L, from Office Depot, because you can rip out paper and reinsert paper. So it has everything that I need. It is my lifeblood. It goes in with me when I go to the grocery store. Okay. So then I'm like, oh, what's your name? Great. What's your phone number? What's your email? You're looking for a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom. You know what? In a couple hours when I'm done here, I'm going to send you guys a complete search for exactly what you want. I'm going to email it to you guys, and you let me know if you guys want to go see them. Okay. Now, I've got all my lender information there, just like some business cards. And so then you have to educate them on the steps. And, that's a whole different thing. You should already know that. So questions for me. I'm going to take a breath.
Yeah, no. I was actually captivated by that whole sequence, because I'm thinking, man, she's doing all the things. Like, this is the typical open house that I've seen realtors do. Is like, they come in and they do the signs. I mean, I think I want to dig in a little bit more of the signs, but they put up the signs, they have cookies or whatever, and then they sit in the open house. What I've never seen them do is the process, right? That in which you did it, where you're asking them questions, you're sequencing them, and then the one thing I love is the preparation about having other properties available around the area above and below price.
They're so impressed by that. And if you guys don't have easels, get some painter's tape and fill up that blank wall. Painter's tape, so you don't mess up the walls. And so you can do it in very, very many different ways. When I was bored, when I wasn't so busy, I would print out 50 different properties and fill walls with it, because the more time they're in there. And here's
right.
I love going into other people's open houses and kind of educating them in a very nice way. Why is it so quiet in here? Don't you have like Spotify on your phone? My bag, I put on, I think it's Michael Bublé radio, or I put on like something like upbeat, sexy, a little old school. You don't want it hard rap. You don't want it country. You don't want to piss anybody off. So please put on music in your big, scary open houses. They're walking there. Oh, here's some paperwork. Oh gosh.
Erin, I just want to interrupt you for 1 second.
Yeah.
So when you do the wall of the listings, and we used to teach open houses all the time, we would tell people we always use the cork board and the little thumbtacks, and we'd only have like 1 or 2. We wouldn't have a lot to give them. That's the segue to get them to get the app. Because
yes.
I can't give you all of these, but I can give you an app that has them.
That's a good theory too.
Yeah.
But in this market, what I'm doing is I'm putting the value of each of the homes. I'm going to get somebody with RV gated, guard gated. I'm going to trigger something. They can't take that piece of paper off the wall. Oh, heck no.
Right.
So that's why I give them the app first, then I go over there.
Yeah. Perfect. Definitely. That's perfect. What do you do in the neighborhood? Do you send out postcards? Do you go on Facebook? Do you go on Nextdoor? Do you anything like that?
Yes. And so there are so many different tactics. Okay. So what I like to do is, yesterday was horribly rain. It was not a good week. It was horribly rainy and windy. And so normally I would, we actually love to door knock. We've got scripts for door knocking. Okay. And so I do go the extra mile, just because at this point I put aside so much money in marketing, and each one of the neighbors gets the same thing. So they know which home's for sale, how much it's going for, and I educate them. Oh gosh, that's overpriced. Oh, did you look on Zillow? Let me educate you about the iBuyer platform. They're always going to discount your homes because they want you to sell to them. Then they're going to mark it up and make a profit. That's why you can't trust any of the iBuyer platforms, because it's not real. That's why I do real comps for you and tell you how much you can get your home for.
So, I mean, so you do, so I'm clear, what kind of, do you door knock the day before? Do you know?
Normally I would door knock the day before. Okay. But it was horrible weather and it was just, nobody was going to be opening the door or anything like that. And so, and I make it a point not to wear name tags, because then I feel like I'm like a Jehovah's Witness, or like I'm a solar salesperson. So we're very, and you know, put on the smile. Everybody has Ring doorbells these days. And so like I wave to the Ring doorbell and, you know, just do a little dance or whatever. But I do love door knocking, because I'm like, okay, great. We want to make sure that, you know, there's an open house, because there's going to be a little bit of extra traffic in the area, you know, so I just want to let you know that's what's going on. Here's the information about your neighbor's home. We always want to find the best neighbors for you guys. So if you know of anybody that is, you know, would like to move, if you love to be neighbors, I mean, give them our information and, you know, we can help you. And then, you know, normally we talk about the price point, you know, how long have you lived here? Are you interested in selling? You know, do you have a lot of equity? I mean, it can go a million different ways. You just have to know, you know, which way to go. Oh, you're renting. Would you like some information about possibly getting qualified to buy a home? The interest rates are low. I mean, you have to be prepared to go a million different ways.
What time of so I love that you do the video right after, you know, they leave the house, and it's you know, to reaffirm the introduction or the meeting with you again. I mean, have you gotten, what kind of responses have you gotten from that?
You clicked a little bit. I didn't hear the beginning of your question.
So at the end, you know, after they leave, after the prospective
yes.
visitor to your open house leaves,
Yes.
and then you send them that text video.
Yes.
What kind of response have you gotten from that? Have you gotten any replies? Have you gotten
50-50, because they just left the open house. They're very busy. And so then the next day I'll follow up again. Hey, did you have any trouble with the app? You know, and then, and I love videos, they can connect with me. And then I have it set in my calendar. I'm very, very big on calendaring. That's a whole nother thing. I have them set in my calendars. And so every 2 weeks, and definitely before all these holidays, also, hey, Mandy, it was so great to meet you. I'm Erin from that Minuet open house. Happy Valentine's Day. Not a sales pitch. I'm not a salesperson. I'm creating relationships.
right? Oh, fantastic. So you how critical is it for you to follow up? I mean, what's the follow up sequence? I want to talk about this too, because this is where the real money is. I love what you're doing in the front end, but you know, capturing all this information, getting all these names, but if there's no system for follow up, then the leads go. So I mean, can you walk us through the steps of like what you do on day 1, day 2, and then maybe 2-3 days out?
Yeah, so it is very important to do the follow-up, okay? And so I book my time in advance. I'm very into calendaring. And so I book at least an hour after that open house. We'll go get all the signs, and then we're quiet. Here's where you do the first follow-up. You're going to personalize every single video. So if you did a great job, I mean, you could have 10, you could have, I've had 30 at some of them.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So you take that time, you send it, because I don't want to go home, I'm going to get distracted. So I take the time, I send that video, and then I put them in my calendar to follow up the next day. Then I put it, you know, so it's a very calendared process. And so I do it the next day, then I do it midweek, because Wednesday's the best day, because they're done being, you know, hungover from the weekend. They're getting their business. You know what, I'm this Vegas. They're getting their business, and they're in the middle of the work week. They've got everything situated. Now they're ready to focus on that weekend. Hey, you guys, it's midweek. I've got some time available. Would you guys like to go see any of those homes? What's your schedules? Okay. So I do the first day, the second day, and then midweek. Okay. Wow. So that's a big deal. Then if there's no response, I put them in my calendar to shoot them off that twice monthly video and fit in all of those holidays. Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Definitely.
And it's always good to ask them if they're working with a realtor, because, you know, then you know that you're not the only one in the game there.
Of course. And you know what? You can be cheeky. I don't like to be cheeky, but if they're there, oh yeah, I am working with somebody. Well, where are they? Why are you in an open house without them? I mean, I don't like to play that game, but you know, respectfully. And then I'll write on there they have another agent. But if I sent them the MLS Touch app that they didn't have, I'm allowed to follow up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
But if not, I gave them some value, and I'm working the community over competition. So I hope that I'm helping their realtor. You know what I'm saying? Just paying it forward.
Yes.
One more thing. If you have a horrible open house, there's no such thing. People are like, wah, wah. Yesterday, literally, we had not one walk-in. Not one. but we worked. We were taking videos of the house for each of my agents, and we were taking photos, and we were building up videos and putting it on our, getting ready to put it on our stories and everything like that. So if you have there's no thing as a bad open house, okay?
Right.
You're just preparing and cleaning up your emails, and you're working. That's what I hate is agents are like, screw it. But we had multiple agents in there. So we went around 3 times and kept picking up signs, and I had a death of a sign. It blew over and it got ran over. Put it in your marketing budget. So I did a little video. Oh, RIP, buddy, RIP. See you tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
and if it's windy, you can buy little sandbags.
You can.
And you can put the sandbags over the bottom of the
rack. Do the work.
Yep.
Well, I'm crazy, and I have a bucket of rocks in the back of my truck. And so if it's a windy day, I can put those. I don't have the sandbags. I mean, I'm not that cool. But, we spent a lot of time and, rocked them and stuff like that. But that's why it's good to have multiple people working with you. And so you're not, freaking out that somebody's in there. Now, if you're by yourself, okay, you want to make sure that you put a door on your open house sign. Okay. I always do it starting on the outside and then moving inside toward my open house. But there's a sign up there. Be back in a minute, setting up signs. Text me if you're in the area, that sort of a thing. So be prepared for everything. Now, yesterday it was rainy, so I did a little trick. And so my little sign at the gate code, well, if it's raining, all your ink is gonna run. So I just covered it in Scotch tape. Right. So it's not gonna run. So it does take a long time to, create your tactics and everything like that. But, you have to really focus on maintaining it, because you really have to touch clients up to 7 times. And it does take 6.8 months for them to realize they want to buy a home, if they're just looky-loos. But if you're always in their face. Now, Ruth is a social media queen, but I'm pretty good at it. Ruth is my mentor and sponsor. I am underneath Ruth in my company. And so you better believe I'm going to listen to her. And so all my stuff is branded with follow me on social media. I'm pretty good with Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube right now. Ruth, I know we'll have a meeting about LinkedIn soon. I'm not the greatest, but 23 months in, I think I'm killing it.
Yeah.
So it's very important for them to find me on Facebook and Instagram, because I want them to fall in love with me as a human being and see that I give back to the community.
So here's a little tip. There was a gentleman from Laguna who went to Laguna totally broke. He was divorced. He left Denver, went to Laguna Beach, and his strategy was to hold an open house every day for 1 year. So by about the 3rd month, he had done a couple deals. So he had enough money to buy pot holders, and he put his name, his phone number, his email address, and now, of course, you put your Facebook, name on there, or your Instagram handle, whatever. And everybody that came into that open house got one of those.
I love it. I love it.
Because people use pot holders, and it's in their kitchen. It's like the salt a little bit.
That is so cute. Yes.
And it's not that expensive.
My favorite person in EXP is Sam Coleman. I love Sam Coleman. And so it was 2 years ago when I was new, and he did, over the holidays, he did 90 open houses in 90 days. I was like, dang.
That was 2 years ago. I remember. And he got 9 deals in those days, and they were high end.
Very high end.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so it's always good to, imitation is the highest form of flattery. I tell them all the time, thank you, I love you. And so I did 30 open houses in 30 days, taking Sundays off with my family. And I had to stop. I exploded. And so, but consistency is the key. You have to do the same thing every day. Yes. I just beat my team to death. Listen, I get up at 4:30 a.m. I've got my quiet time, my calendar. I focus on my day, move stuff around, clean my emails. Then when my phone starts ringing at 9 a.m., we do our private trainings early in the morning. So if they have any questions, I'm giving them the value before we start our day. And then I get so much work done. Sometimes by 2 o'clock, I could be done with my family.
So talking about the open houses, if you said there's not a bad open house, if you've sent out postcards, if you've posted an event on Facebook with the right hashtags and everything, then you've reached people, whether they walk in that house or not. You need to believe that you've reached the people, the other homeowners in the neighborhood. They've gotten a postcard from you. They see what you're doing. So there is no bad open house.
Well, and here's the thing. When you do one open house consistently for 30 days, people walk in, they're like, you are committed, you are dedicated. It's taken me 27 days, but I'm here. What's going on? And they're interested in, why the house isn't moving. And so, you know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it just depends. So you can educate them at that point.
Of course. Yeah.
Now,
You're the sales consultant. You're not selling, you're consulting.
right. And I didn't touch on how I do advertise on Facebook. I mean, obviously, I use the correct hashtags. I put it on all my, I love stories so much. And so, I'll take a video. Yesterday, I'd be like this. I mean, so we did a few, but it was just a hurricane out there.
Yes.
So while you're in that open house, be like, this is such a great, I mean, you have to do video, guys.
You have to. You have to. And I agree with you. There should be no wasted open house because you have a product to show and you have an opportunity to demonstrate your professionalism.
Yes.
Right. And creates a piece of content that showcases a home and demonstrates to the marketplace that you're, someone that can, either sell their home or find them a home.
And you have those secret stalkers. And so I have people come in, what? They're like, okay, I'm ready to buy a home. I'm like, I haven't spoken to you. What? Oh, I watch all of your stories. And I have to, I keep pretty much professional on Instagram, but I do all my home showings and everything on Facebook and people are like, I just love to walk through those houses with you sitting on my couch,
Right. Exactly.
So
and
at 2 years in, I mean, now I have a very strong referral base, but I've started several businesses in my life, and you always have to know it's going to take you 2 years to get a very good return and a referral base if you remain consistent.
And people quit. They quit. If that doesn't work in 3 or 4 months, most of the agents quit.
It's hard work. It is hard work.
It is.
I prep the agents that want to be on my team. Well, I better like you, and I better see a spark there. Because I am the meanest cheerleader on the planet and I'm going to keep you consistent. So that's why I do 3 weekly trainings. The link is in my bio and anybody can hop on and I keep them consistent. My personal team, we do trainings every morning at 6:30 a.m. before Ruth. Then we all have to watch Ruth and then we can pop on and train more. So now every single one of my trainings I do record. And so if anybody misses it at any time, they can ask me, hey, how do you get your offer accepted every time? You know what? Just let me shoot you. I don't want to repeat myself. So
yeah.
No, that's great.
I need to teach you how to use the Facebook Live or Be Live, and and then and how to do playlists and series on your Facebook to really get just to get more reach, and where you're headed, you're going to need it.
Right. And, I tell my agents, I'm like, it can be very overwhelming. Just, slow down and have fun with it. Otherwise, you're just going to cry with everything because you tell me 9 things. I'm like, I'm going to go and cry now. No. That's why I've taken 2 years. I perfected Facebook a long time ago with the other businesses. Not perfected, but you hone your craft. Then you can hone Instagram, then YouTube.
One at a time.
Right.
One at a time. Honestly, you can't spread yourself thin on every single one. Otherwise, you're not going to have enough consistency.
Gary Vaynerchuk says, go deep, then go wide.
Very good.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. So how many open houses do you target doing on a monthly, weekly basis?
And I love you, Ruth, but that's why I pulled out of the office too, is because I should make open houses my office. And so respectfully, I've secured 3 days with this broker, but I'm going to ask him, hey, can I be here until you sell it or I sell it? So then it's all set up and I just walk in there. I can set up my signs. I cannot set up my signs, but you should do the work, put on your tennis shoes, set up those signs and sit in that open house and it's your office.
Yeah,
and
exactly. Great strategy.
If you have clients that you have to leave and you're doing the open house by yourself, have that front door sign, be back in a minute, call me. You know what I'm saying? Then you can capture their information. But that's why I like to fill up my open houses for all my agents to use if I'm busy. So it's a big team effort on my end.
Yeah. Well, and some of the tips that you give, you went over a little bit quickly, but it's always good. I always said, never do an open house alone. It takes more than one person to do an open house properly, because someone might want to see other homes right then, or someone want my information and then comes somebody else. And especially with social distancing, you've got to be cognizant of that as well.
Well,
and go ahead.
Here's an insert. A lot of agents out there, they don't want to share their open houses. They don't want to share their leads. And so if that's a fact, try to get your title rep, try to get your lender, try to get somebody else. So if you want to keep all those leads and you're just starting out, that's great. I've built a team, and so it's beneficial for me to have all of my agents in there, because I love to, if I'm really busy, I mean, you take one, you take one. It's community over competition, but it is safety first.
Yeah. And I'm here to tell you that this market is on fire and people are looking at homes, and so you've got all this activity going on, and it's just high energy when they love open houses. I mean, we're in a gated community, and we've got listings in here. People always show up to the open houses. It's not that easy sometimes to get in them, but they do.
Well, and let me just say, I've had a lot of agents, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do it in the middle of a work day. There's nobody out there. Bull honky. Let me tell you, if they are serious buyers, and at my price point, my high-end price point, they might have the cash to just not have to work or work from home. They are out to there.
Yeah, people are out there now more than ever with the pandemic, and they're not having to go to the office. They're working from home. And oh, by the way, I'm going to go see an open house today between 12 and 3. Look at some houses, and then they go back to their home and work.
Well, and if you educate your buyers correctly, if you start looking on a Monday, you can get your offer accepted a little bit easier than starting on a Friday and having all that competition.
That's right. A great tip too. Yeah. Exactly. I love doing open houses during the week.
Yes. I love it. So if anybody needs any advice from me or Ruth, I mean, we're just a phone call away. We're not scary people. You can just text us. And, we're here to educate you guys. Ruth is the best. Max,
right. Right. Now, yeah, I'm just a bystander here, giving you a different perspective from the consumer side. But no, all good stuff, Erin. I mean, this is incredible, right? I mean, every time you come on, and the evolvement over the years since we've had you on 2-3 years ago, and when you first started, right? And
I remember. I don't think I knew that it was live, and I barely had on makeup, and I just had on a sweatshirt.
You were great. You were great. You were talking about time management back then, 2 years ago.
And I think we need to revisit that. I was just thinking about that. You seem to have your time management system in order here, and I think that's one of the things that most people in general don't do very well. And
you guys can have me back on. We'll talk about my time blocking, my time management. Calendaring is so important. I'm like choo. I mean, I have my client concierge manager now who is with me all the time. But if I have a thought, I put it in my calendar, because I'm always looking at my calendar. I don't put it in notes. I don't put it in the notebook. I don't write it down. I put it in my calendar. Wash the dogs. I mean, even something simple like that.
All right.
No, fantastic. I was just thinking about an idea. One of the things that homeowners, we think about all the time, especially when things go wrong, is having a good handyman available. I wonder if one of these open houses, or even if you want doing one where it's like more of a fixer upper, you have a handyman with you to do the open house. Erin, yes.
I have a very built-in vendor list. Okay, so I have everything from a pool guy to your pest control, handyman, plumber,
landscaping.
And these are my vendors that I'm very loyal to, and they refer me 100%. So they always have stacks of my cards with them. So I've got a very, very tight vendor list. Okay. And so if I refer landscaping, they might even send me a Starbucks card or something. It's not about the money. It's about developing your, you just have to be very loyal to all of your people and be very consistent.
So here's another tip. Since you brought that up, Brian Buffini suggests that you create a little folder. Maybe take the 8.5 and by 11, fold it up, staple it, and have it like Erin Pearson Mills vendor list, and with your information, and then give all those people to everybody that comes into the open house, because everybody needs a landscaper from time to time, a new pool guy, or
it's in my folder.
Yeah, you give people.
It's in this folder. This one's not complete, but the more value that you can give to people, ladies and gentlemen, the more they're going to want to use you.
Yeah.
And yes, I am born and raised here, but know your area. So this is in Mountain's Edge, and I know the area like the back of my hand. I can tell them exactly when the Costco is going to be built. I can tell them there's only one guard gated community. I mean, learn your area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, the people that listen, ask questions and listen make the most money.
Yeah.
It's not about talking, it's about asking questions and listening. And then
Yeah,
when you
I've
have
had
something to
to learn
give
that.
them, then when you have something to give them like you do, you know, you're on top of their mind.
Well, and Aaron Taylor gave a great, and he always gives this lesson over and over. And I'm going to put it into my training this week in my Instagram links. It's about learning your customers. It's about learning their animal. It's about learning their color and their personality to mirror their personality. I'm a definite bull tiger, but you're going to have the owl and the lamb. You need to know what that is. So when you do get your clients, you know how to handle them as well, because I don't want to overwhelm people. And that's, you know, if they're a little bit quieter, they might like my agent over here or this agent over here. No, you know, you're not going to win everybody.
Yeah, everybody's different and attracts different personalities. Yeah, there's
So
people
yeah,
that
this
are just
week,
totally analytical, and so you better know your area for those people. There's other people that look at this house, great party house. Well, you know what kind of people they are, right?
yes, yeah. And so if you guys want to learn a little bit more about, you know, people's colors, their personalities, and their animal, we'll do that training. Maybe we'll do that one on Monday. You can just find my link in my bio. It's just, you just click, and please have a Zoom account. Have a Zoom account. Get one.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, get one. I should have invested in that stock.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No
Well,
doubt. No, all good stuff. I want an update. Last week, Aaron, you said you had 8 in escrow this month. What's the number?
Yes, well, now I have 6 because we closed on a couple.
Bam. Okay. Fantastic. Congratulations.
Exactly. So, yep. And so we have 2 listings coming up next week. Nice high price point. One's an America West home. It's 2.5 years old. It's going to be about $585. And then we have a half an acre non-HOA on a half acre, and that one's going to be around $600. And so that one has a basketball court. So they're all very interesting.
wow, cool. And those buyers are coming from California, let me tell you, in droves.
Yes.
Right now.
Yes. Yeah. So I have a fantastic title rep. I love her, Natalie Turley from Tycor, and so she has a really great new Facebook ad system. I've actually never really done that, Ruth. I know you're going to yell at me, but this one is actually sponsored by Facebook, and so the leads are incredible. So I did one of these on my $1.2 million listing. And in the 10 days, I think I got 48 leads, and wow. I got phone numbers and emails, and so you just have to track them both, and they're all calendared now. So all of my agents are working those leads. So if you want to know about that, just send me a DM.
And you've got their phone number, so you're going to send them an intro video. Yeah.
I think you just gave away the secret sauce on how to list $1 million homes, Aaron. Hopefully no one watches this video because
community over competition.
Right.
Sell, guys.
Right. No, that's actually a great idea. If you're going to use like a Facebook advertising, especially with the leads. I mean, one of the biggest complaints that agents get from these online lead sources is that, you know, they're non-qualified or things like that. But if how you pre-qualify them is you list bigger homes, larger size homes. So the tire kickers.
And one more little nugget, you don't have to have a $1.2 million listing. You can ask, you know, your direct upline, your, you know, your sponsors, your whoever. You can ask regular agents, may I do an ad on your huge home? Are they going to say no?
Right.
It depends. It depends on the team. It depends on, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can go to Aaron Taylor and be like, sir, may I do an ad on this? He'd be like, oh, heck yeah, do it on all of them. You know, because I'm getting his home sold.
Exactly right. No, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I'm excited for you. Your energy is so contagious. Exactly. Right. I need some of that 4 a.m. sauce. I've tried waking up at 5 a.m. for like 6 months straight, and every day I still hated it. And so, yeah, I'm back to 6:37. It's just kind of crazy for me. But, anyways.
If you wake up at 4:30 a.m., you're gaining 20 hours of work hours over your competition. And take a nap. Take a nap.
No doubt. All right, Aaron, any last words? We're at the quarter at 15 minutes before the hour here.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Always. Hey, you guys, if you want to come and see how I set up an open house, if you want to get in my face and ask me questions, come to my open house this weekend. It's in Mountain's Edge. It's on my stories. And, you know, you can see the signage and you can get some tips and take a video in this beautiful home. It has an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Literally, it's for like Olympic training. It's very interesting.
Cool.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah, that'll sell.
Yeah. Are you
Like I
going to
said,
put
I'm
Aaron's
available to anybody. Send me
contact
links, send me
information?
text. Oh, sure. You can put up my phone number, sure.
Yeah, put up
But the
Aaron's
best
phone
way,
number and her
watch me on
Instagram.
watch me on Instagram. That's where the business stuff is. So Aaron
What's your
Pearson,
phone number?
702-265-5756.
I should have remembered
Yeah,
that from last week.
Yeah, and if you guys text me, send me a photo so I can. Yeah, I'm visual. I'm very visual.
Man, send her a video to introduce yourself.
Video.
All right, practice that with a realtor who's doing it.
And yeah, there's so much value I can give to everybody. I mean, if you see behind me, I have this gigantic whiteboard. I'm very visual. So I have all of my, everything that's in contract over here, everything that's in my pipeline way over there. And it has specifically, you know, when they get their offer and their earnest money. And I mean, so it's such a process. But I'm happy to teach you any of my tips and tricks.
Yeah,
That's
so
super. Yes, super. Aaron, you know, I can't wait to see your progress this year, and we'll have you on again. We're going to keep checking you.
Okay. Whenever you have a cancellation, I'll make the time.
All right, you
I'll
got
put
it.
in my calendar.
Ruth, what's happening this week in training?
We have Monday Ethics. Did you cross the line with Jimmy Dague from 2 to 5? And you sign up at be.vegas. And this ethics also qualifies you for your LVR biennial. So you're going to laugh, learn, and get all the credits that you need. And then on Thursday, we have a general class on negotiating tactics. Really a great class. I mean, Jimmy is so good at the negotiating tactics, and we do it together. We just love it. And go to be.vegas, sign up for those classes, and you can join in the classroom, but you have to email us. But you can Zoom in, and which is really cool. You don't even have to leave your home or your open house, right? Just be careful if you're at the open house, because you have to pay attention to the class. I better watch myself.
All right. You might be called upon. So
yes, I might be called upon. Yeah, right. So
I'll see you there. I'll see you there on Tuesday. The negotiating. I'll be there.
Negotiate is Thursday.
Aaron.
On the 4th. I'll be there on the 4th.
2 to 5. Okay, super. And ethics again is on Monday from 2 to 5. And when we have our 2 to 5, we always have refreshments of all kinds, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, I might add, with cheese and crackers. And our sponsors are just, they love bringing the wine and the margaritas and all that stuff in. So about midway through the class, everybody stops and we have some refreshments, and the rest of the class then is really fun.
Fantastic.
It's always fun with you.
Yes. So Aaron, all of us smile at once. So Kane has a picture to put.
Send it to me.
Post. All right. Fantastic.
All right.
Thank everybody for joining. Tune in tomorrow morning for Ruth, 9 a.m. every day.
9 a.m. I'll be there
next week. All right. Have a great week, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Aaron.